Hey everybody, in this week's video I've got a very cool laser cut project for you guys. Is this one? How cool is this? It's a laser cut, sort of a skyline with all the high-rise buildings all over the world combined into one circle. I think it's pretty amazing. If you want to build this one yourself, watch till the end. I will explain how to do it. I will share a link in this video in the description where you can find the design. And let's get started with the first step, cutting all the plywood for this project. So first let me cut the plywood to size. I will be using 3mm plywood for this project. These sheets are 61 centimeters in width. I will divide it into two, so 30.5 and 30.5 minus the curve of the saw blade, of course. I will also be cutting it this way, 30.5 centimeters. So I've got squares. In total we need 4 squares for this project, so I've got more plywood ready to cut. I will be using my miter saw. This is a Bosch glide saw. And it really got some very smooth action. I'm not sure if you can see it, but this one's got little knuckles over here. Most of the miter saw you see in the market, they've got these linear rods, so it also sticks out way to the back. In this case it's flat on the back and it's got some hinges, which really has a very smooth action. So anyway, I will be getting my measuring tools, my hearing protection, and I will be starting to cut out all the plywood needed for this project. So I've cut the plywood to size. What I always do is just do a quick sanding, so the edges will be nice and you will not cut yourself having these little splinters. It's just a quick, it doesn't need to be very fancy because you'll be cutting it out anyway using the laser cutter. So just a quick sand, that's it. And then you're done. We've cut out all the plywood sheets that we need for this project. So next up, let's get to the laser. So for this project I will be using my Tuka L2. This is also a fully enclosed class 1 laser, similar to the X4 Pro from MacPow. I really like these machines a lot because they are fully enclosed, class 1, so I don't need to wear my safety goggles every time. Also because they are fully enclosed, all the smell and smoke will remain inside and will be vented out. I've got a pipe going outside of the window. I've got an acrylic sheet. I cut it exactly the size of my window, so I can put it in front. It will seal the cold, so there will not be any cold inside my my working area, but I can still vent everything out, so that works fine. Another option would be to have a portable air purifier. Some of the companies I work with, and also companies having laser equipment, they sell these. I think that would be a very nice option as well. Would love to have one day. So you can connect it, there are filters inside and it will get all the smoke and smell inside the filtering. So that's another option. This one, my Tuka doesn't have the accessory, the camera. So I have placed a camera inside here, as you can see, so I can record everything during the cutting. I will be using OBS and I will show you the cutting process completely, so you can follow along. So I've already set the focus on the machine and also aligned the plywood. I've aligned it in such a way that if I put the plywood on the left bottom corner of the honeycomb bed, it will exactly fit on the sheet of plywood. Let me show you up close. Let me move the camera, lower it a little bit, and then you can have a look inside the cabinet. Here you can see the camera that I was talking about. It's recording the cutting process. And then on the left bottom corner, I've got the plywood aligned on the honeycomb bed. Let me do the homing. It's a very smooth action on this machine, by the way. Now it's homing the machine. And then I will do the circular framing. And you can see it will fit exactly on this sheet of plywood. So I have minimum left over. And all the other 3 sheets I need to cut, I can just place exactly on the same position. If I align the design in LightBurn on the same coordinates, it will exactly fit on the plywood. So next up I will show you the design in LightBurn and we can start the cutting process. So in all my videos when I do a review on a new machine, I always show you that I will create these test sheets. You can do so from within LightBurn. This one I will be using. So what I will do is take this one, look up 80% speed here, or power I mean, and then see what the speed is to cut everything out. This one will say at 80% will say 500 millimeters a minute. And I always do it a little bit slower because I want to make sure, especially with this project, where I've got so many small little bits, I want to make sure they all come out. So I will set it to 450 millimeters a minute at 80%. So this is the way I'm using these test sheets. Very easy to do. So let's have a look at the design in LightBurn. As I explained, it's a nice design with all the landmarks and buildings from different countries all over the world. It's a 4-layer design, so it's got some nice depth to it. I've already placed the first layer on the honeycomb bed, or the working area I should say. This is 30 by 30 centimeters. I've got the plywood sheets to 30.5 centimeters by 30.5, so it will just fit on there. As I've explained also and showed you, I've aligned the honeycomb bed in such a way that if I put the design on this position, so the X and Y position exactly, and I will align the sheet on the left corner, it will exactly fit on the sheet. I've already set the speed and power, 80% 450 millimeters a minute. I've already checked this one. I think this is the most cutting. This one will take an hour, and this one will take, let me see, 7 minutes. So let's say in total 2 hours and 20 minutes or something, roughly. So that's pretty doable. So I will start with the first layer. I will set the camera so you can follow along, and then we'll start cutting out all the layers. So let's start cutting the first layer. Everything is set. I will press start to start the cutting. So it's getting along just fine. It's almost ready. So the first layer has been cut. I did forget to turn on the air assist in the beginning, the first few seconds, because this machine doesn't have an automatic air assist, so you need to manually turn it on. Also the exhaust fan you need to manually turn on. And as you can see, let me show you over here. This part you can see a little bit of brown marks. That's because I forgot to turn on the air assist. Once I turn it on, you can see it's a very nice and clean cut all the way around. So I will be waiting, it's almost finished. And then I will be taking out the first parts, the first layer, and then we can continue with the next one. Few more centimeters. Let me see. Yeah, it's ready. So I will wait for the fan to turn off, and then we can take it out. Let me turn off the air assist. I will wait a few more seconds before opening the enclosure, so the smoke can clear out. And there you have it. So I've got the first layer and I want to show you something. As I've mentioned, I forgot to turn on the air assist in the beginning. So you can clearly see the brown marks over here. And then once I've turned on the air assist, all the other cutting is nice and clean. But I want to show you on the back side, there's another benefit of having the air assist. Here you can see all the parts are nicely cut all the way through, except for this bit. And this is exactly the part where I forgot to turn on the air assist. So besides having a nice and clean cut, the air assist also helps with penetrating the material a lot deeper. So yeah, that's just another benefit of having an air assist on your laser machine. So I've put on the next layer onto the working area. Let me check. This one will take 58 minutes to cut. I have lowered the cutting speed a little bit. Initially I had set it to 450 millimeters a minute. I have lowered it to 425, especially for this part. Let me enlarge it. As you can see, all the skyscrapers, they have so many windows that need to be cut. And I want to make sure that everything is cut through correctly. especially with plywood, because it's just layers of wood glued together. Sometimes certain parts of the plywood have more glue than other, so it might result in parts not getting cut through all the way. So I want to make sure that this is not the issue. That's why I lowered the speed a little bit. So next up, let me align everything and then we can start cutting the second layer. So I've aligned everything. Let's start cutting. Let me turn on the air assist and also the exhaust fan, and then we can start cutting. As you can see, the cutting is almost done on this layer. I did notice, because in LightBurn I made this design a little bit smaller so it would fit on a sheet of plywood 30 by 30 centimeters. Some of the windows of several skyscrapers, they are really tiny. And because this is a 20-watt laser, it cannot cut them out individually. Some of them, they will fall out as a larger chunk. I don't think it will matter. I still like the design and I think it will look great. But if you mind, you can enlarge the design a little bit so the windows are getting larger, or you can use a different laser which has a smaller dot size. Most of the times these are lasers which have less power, or you have lasers where you have a switch that you can decide either 20 watt or maybe 10 watt or 6 watt. Some of the brands have this, so they will disable certain amount of laser diodes. But in my case I cannot do this, so it's a 20-watt laser and I have to deal with it like this. Again, I don't mind. I think it still looks very nice. So let's continue, and once this is ready I will put on the next layer. So the second layer is ready. I will take it out of the enclosure and clean it up, put in the next plywood sheet so we can start cutting again. Next layer will also take about 58 to 60 minutes. And once this is ready, we only have one layer left, which I think will take 10 minutes. So then we're ready with the cutting. As I already mentioned, some of the really tiny windows he couldn't cut out individually because it's a 20-watt laser. The laser dot size is a little bit larger than, for instance, a 5-watt or a 3-watt laser. So if you want to cut them out individually, you can either enlarge the design, so the windows will also be a little bit taller, or use a laser which has a smaller dot size. And it will take a little bit longer, for instance. It's just up to you. I don't mind. I think it will still look very nice when all is done and ready. But it's up to you. So number 3, layer 3. This one will take 59 minutes. I've already aligned everything. So I will start cutting this. And then once this is ready, we only need to do one layer, which will take about 7 minutes, I think. So about 10 minutes to go. As you can see, most of the buildings, or at least all of the buildings, are cut. He's now working on the contours. Once this is ready, he will go around one more time for the outer edge, and then the third layer is finished. So it's almost ready. Only a few more seconds to go. Then I can wait for the smoke to clear, open the cabinet and take it out. And then we can continue with the last layer. This will only be, I think, a couple of minutes, maybe 7 minutes cutting time. And then we're ready for with all the cutting. So yes, it's finished. Let me let the smoke clear. Turn off the air assist pump. Turn off the fan. Let me open the cabinet. So as you can see, another one ready. A lot of detail. I will take it out and then continue with the last layer. What I will normally do is just use a vacuum and I can remove all the parts. So the last layer is on. This one will take 9 minutes. I will turn on the fans and then start the cutting. So the last layer is also almost finished. Only a couple of centimeters left and then it's ready. Again, it's a nice and clean cut all the way around. Let me take off the air assist. Turn off the air assist, I mean. Let me turn off the fan. Let me open the cabinet. The fan of the laser is still spinning. It will stop in a few seconds. And I can take it out. Let me see. There it goes. Let me take it out. This one I can remove. And also this one I need to take out gently. Some parts stuck on the back. There's a little tiny piece which I need to cut over here. You can see. Hopefully you can see it over here. I need to cut it. And the rest is all ready to go. Also on the back side, only a little bit here, but overall it's a nice and clean cut also on the back. So I will take it out and then we are ready for the next step, painting all the parts. So all the layers are cut. I've also removed all the little pieces from each layer using a knife and also a metal scribing tool. This one you can use to push out all the little pieces, works great. I've already selected the colors, did some testing. I will be using these colors. This will be the first layer, then the second layer, third layer and fourth layer. I put everything on top of each other to have a look what the end result will be, and I think it looks very nice. Let me show you up close a little bit. You can see all the landmarks, all the buildings, especially when I'm ready with the painting. You will have a nice contrast between the different layers. So that's up next. I will put some paper on the table, reposition my camera so you can follow along. I will use my airbrush gun because it's got so many little windows and openings. If I would use a brush, all these little openings will fill up with paint. So I will be using the airbrush gun to do some light coats, several coats, and then glue everything together, and we've got another project finished. So I have painted all 4 layers, and I want to show you something. Let me remove this one. I want to show you this. I don't know, I'm not an artist. I couldn't create this one myself, but now that I've painted all the layers, I've got this result, and somehow I really like it. So maybe I'll keep it. I don't know, but I do. I think it's a nice piece. A lot of depth. You go all the way down there, all the buildings. Yeah, nice. So let me do a quick assembly so you can see what it looks like. This is the first layer. This is the second layer. Then we've got the third layer. And then finally the fourth layer. So this is what it looks like when it's completely assembled. I need to glue everything together, and then we've got another project finished. So next I will apply the glue to get all the layers together. I will use regular wood glue for this one, and I will apply it using a foam roller. I think that's the easiest way to apply this, as this has got so many little small parts. As you can see, some of the parts are pretty dark. This is because there are so many little windows cut, as you can see. So there's a lot of heat on this little top of the building, but it turned out really nice. I will use this machine clamp to put some pressure on it when every layer is glued. This is about 12 kilos, so enough pressure. So next up I will realign the camera, and I will glue everything together, and then I will show you the final end result. So we have another project finished. I really like this one. The Tuca, this one, really did a good job. The only thing was the very small tiny parts he had some difficulties with because of it's a 20-watt laser. So you can also choose to use a laser which has less power. It will of course take a lot more time. I decided not to do so, and I think the end result is still very, very nice. Let me show you. I really like this one. You've got all the landmarks from all the cities all over the world combined together in one circle. I really like it. I think it turned out really nice. I like the color scheme I've used. Of course, you are free to use any color scheme you want. I will put the link in the description of the video where you can find this design if you want to build one yourself. Yeah, I think this might be the last project I will do for this year, large project. I only want to wish everybody a very good and healthy 2025. I want to thank you for all your support during last year, all my subscribers, all my followers, and I hope you will join me in the next year. For this, I want to say enjoy the good things in life, and I hope to see you next year. Bye bye.